Welcome back to the Steel Deal. I'm Nick. That's Brad. We are here. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not even miraculously, just expectedly 7-6. And
Just
we
a
are here to
little bit
talk about
above
it.
average.
Just a little bit above average. Emotions have cooled from last week, but I the game, whether it would have been a win or a loss, it wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah.
That's just that's Mike Tomlin football. That's what we do. Brad, what are your thoughts?
Man, happy they won. It was fun watching them win the game. You couldn't have started it better.
Yep.
52-yard bomb to DK. I mean, just
Oh yeah.
it's like, whoa, okay,
Yep.
what's up? Let's get it on. Uh, Still have a lot of gripes. So, I mean, I kind of hear some of the stuff they're talking about after the game, and they're like, oh man, we came out and we saw that they were only going to play a single safety high all day. They were going to load up on the run. We didn't have to deal with cover two anymore. Everybody's been playing us cover two. Like, well, don't you have a professional coaching staff to help you beat a cover two?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been seeing cover two all season, one, you run the ball on cover two. The other, you're going to hit the deep middle. You're going
Yep.
to try to pop them between the corners and the safeties. I mean, I'm glad they won, but I
Right.
just, some of these things, it's just like it kind of gnaws at me. And, there's some other things that, I've heard today that I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to that Bengals game a couple weeks ago, right? That it was like we won. It's a divisional game. You take
Yeah.
that. It
Hmm.
felt like hell yeah, we're back. But then you look at it and you're like, damn, we're one play away from this going the other way. I mean, you and I were texting, and at one point we were up like 21-3, something like that. We had a substantial lead,
Yeah.
and neither one of us felt confident. Of course, it came down to it literally came down to the last 30 yards, like the
Hmm.
entire game. It's just, all it took was that Isaiah Likely touchdown, or Mark Andrews to not put his hands up in front of what would have been a DeAndre Hopkins touchdown,
Yeah.
or, any number of things. So it's like we won. We're never going to dispute that. We're happy with that. 7-6, we're on to Miami, but we're a play away from being 6-7 and being, I think what we had, like if we would have lost, we would have had like a 19% chance to make the playoffs, something like
Yeah.
that. I think it was the single biggest swing in a game, and we won, and that's great. But I like what you say. It's like it's okay to win and still focus on what we didn't do well,
Hmm.
because that's what's going to win us a playoff game. It doesn't. I don't care about the playoffs. I care about winning a playoff game.
Yeah. And that's what I would expect or hope that the coaching staff's going to talk to them about this week. Hey, we won this game, but there's still a lot of suck in this room. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's just all there is to it. There was a point towards the sometime late in the second half of the game. I look, the defense is out on the field, to running down. Okay, played in a three-man line. Cam gets thrown out of the way like a rag doll, and they pick up 30 or 40 yards. I mean, they
yeah,
just threw him out of the way.
yeah.
Oh man, more of this?
Yeah, and that's why I said it felt like Derrick Henry was about to just take over. Like they went away, they went
Yeah.
away from him. Like, and I don't really understand why. He was. It felt like pretty much every second or third run, he was picking up 6 or 7 yards
Yeah.
pretty consistently. There's a couple early on when TJ got him in the backfield, which was fantastic. But I think it's really important to remember that the same issues that we have with Mike Tomlin, Ravens have with John Harbaugh. That's what's going to happen when you have a coach for that long.
Oh yeah.
Like and that thing is they've won playoff games. They've won MVPs. They've done everything but win a Super Bowl in this era. Obviously, they did with Joe Flacco, but you look at Ravens fans on Twitter or on Reddit or whatever, and they're saying the same thing that we say when we lose. Like it's ridiculous that he's incompetent. He needs to go. I'm sick of the mediocrity. And yeah, I don't know why they went away from Derrick Henry. We couldn't stop their run game. We could not stop their run game. We were out Derrick Harmon. Y.A. Black, it was just getting shoved around. Occasionally, he's a rookie. It's going to
Mhm.
happen. We lost Malik Harrison, our run stuffer. Keanu Benton was banged up. We lost a lot of those guys that are there to stop the line, and it felt like Lamar was just saying, "I'm taking this game into my own hands," which he can do, and he has done so
Mhm.
many times. But it feels incredibly lucky to get out of Baltimore with a win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that the touchdown catch, I was I mean, I don't want to say I feel bad for Baltimore because I rarely feel bad for them no matter
Yeah.
what happens. But when they pulled that touchdown away from them, even when Sterator explained it in the heat of the moment, watching it on TV, I was like, they just took a legitimate touchdown off the board until
Yeah.
I was just a little while ago reading the NFL rules and watching that replay over and over again. It's not a catch.
Well, it's one of those. It's a catch, but the rule book says it isn't.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I. Yeah,
it's
that's.
like it's
Mhm.
Jesse James. That's the direct comparison. The Jesse James catch against the Patriots, it was 1,000% a catch, and the ball was across the goal line. But they said I don't even know how else what you're supposed to do if
I got
from
it right here.
yeah from the live action. Yes, it looked the Isaiah Likely touchdown, and from my opinion, it looked like it was broken up because we saw the back camera. So I thought maybe he didn't have possession,
Hmm.
and I don't know if it was Joey or James Pierre, but
Yeah, it
smacked it
was.
out of his hands, and that was fantastic. But then you saw the replay; it's like he firmly has that, and I'm like, do you want him to hold the ball that firmly and then just walk it over to the ref as well? Like, there's got to be something in there. But again, it's one of those like, yeah, it probably was the wrong call. But we've also gotten shafted by that call in, I can argue, much bigger stakes. Two wrongs don't make a right. It just shows
Mhm.
like half of these officials don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, he caught that ball with his arms extended.
Yeah,
If he had caught the ball closer and just if he'd have just done that,
yeah.
and that would have been his third football move. Getting that third foot down would have
Hmm.
been his football move. What else?
It's like if he
Tuck the
turned his
ball
body.
away or turn up field, or if he had
Yep.
fallen down after he got both of his feet in, if he'd have just pulled the ball in and fell to the ground,
Yeah,
that would have been his football move. But since that didn't, he completed the first two, but that third one, it didn't happen because he caught the ball with his arms extended already. He couldn't extend
yeah.
them any further,
Right,
and then the
right.
ball got knocked out before his third foot hit. So by the rule on the
Yeah,
NFL's website, I mean, it's not a catch.
yeah.
I
Again,
was, this morning I was talking about it with a coworker. I was like, dude, he caught that ball. They robbed them of that
mhm.
touchdown. But then I did a little digging and well, they didn't.
Well, yeah. It's just like it. Sometimes the right call is not the right call,
Yeah.
and that feels like, yeah, rule book says it's the right call, but here we are as fans of the other team, and we're like, that doesn't feel right. And like,
Mhm.
I would be pit. I mean, as pissed as the Steelers have been now for almost 10 years about the Jesse James call.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Ravens fans have a gripe, but that also makes me think like Joey Porter Jr. is an enigma of a player, and I'm so curious what we decide to do with him long term because I think he is a top 10 quarterback. Like his all of his stats show he shuts down whoever he's guarding. And that's
Yeah.
fantastic. But he also gives up these boneheaded penalties because he's very grabby and handsy. That's just his play style.
Hmm.
And he's not, I don't say not quick enough or not smart enough, but he can't get away with it.
Yeah.
He switched his gloves. If you notice, he used to wear like bright yellow gloves to match the Steelers. And
Oh.
then I think one of the vets in the room that we brought in, I don't know who it was, maybe it was Slay, was like, "Hey, bro, like wear the same color gloves that the other team's jersey is, or at least close to. That way, when you're grabbing, the
Smart.
refs can't see it as much." And if you notice, he's done that. And the thing with Joey is like that was such a great play that to break it up, regardless of if it was or if it wasn't a catch, to even try to do
Oh
that.
yeah, I mean you got
That
to go for it.
yeah, it's the right thing to do. And he makes plays like that quite often. He'll just give up a random, a third and three, and Lamar throws an incomplete pass, and Joey's holding downfield,
Yeah.
or he's engaging too much with
It's
with the
what his
receiver.
third season.
Um, yes, yes. So
Yeah.
contract talks for us will be this year,
Yeah,
this
he'll
offseason.
be. They'll extend that option, or they'll give him a new deal. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, and he's found a lot of it, but
There
then he
is,
also does some of the dumb stuff. So
yeah. I'm just curious. We've talked about it a million times. You pay for the logo, not the name on the back of the jersey. Or you
yeah,
play for the logo. If his name wasn't Joey Porter Jr., would we feel differently?
well, that's the other thing I was going to follow up with. Tomlin and Porter working as a coach several years
Yeah.
ago after Tomlin was a coach and Porter had
Yeah.
retired. And it's Tomlin's nepotism thing.
Yeah.
He'll keep him around for that reason if he has any say in it.
Yeah. It just it's interesting. You have these people who, as a whole, they're not top five elite shut. He's not Sauce Gardner. He's not Derek Stingley.
Hmm.
He's not these guys that are, he's not Trent McDuffie. Like, he's not a top five guy. You can't just island him the entire time. You can zone him and he can, kind of hold his own, whatever. I get, do you pay him top money? And like J.C. Horn for the Panthers is a great example. J.C. Horn has, he's having a great year, but they signed him to a contract prior to this year when he really hadn't lived up to his potential. And for a while, he was like the, I think I have this, maybe it's wrong. He was the highest paid defensive back in NFL history for like 2 days until someone else signed a new contract. So like, who is that where Joey is? Like, are we going to have to pay Joey like he's the best defensive back in the NFL
Hopefully
because
not.
that's the contract rate?
Yeah.
That's the decisions that we're gonna have to start to look at for these guys who we've drafted and developed, and like Keanu Ben's another example. Guys who are clearly talented enough to be on the field and they have a role, but are they worth what the market says they're worth?
Coaching.
It's coaching.
Coaching.
It's coaching. How do you think offense and defense coaching looked on Sunday?
Well, I mean, the offense they took what the Ravens were giving them. They're like, hey, you're
Yeah.
not going to run the ball on us. You're going to have to air it out. And well, they moved the ball downfield. They didn't run it for anything. I mean, I thought we might have had 45 yards rushing on the day or something. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was not.
really low.
It was low.
But I mean, if they're going to load up like that,
Yeah.
you got to go after it. And they connected. So
Yeah. I I thought Rodgers looked like vintage Rod. I mean, the rushing touchdown was
yeah,
incredible.
and then the
For
discount double check.
Yeah. For I think what, 3 quarters, Rodgers was tied with Lamar for rushing touchdowns this year.
Oh
They both
yeah.
had they both had one, but I thought Rodgers looked fantastic. I'm not gonna say he looked young. He just looked like a guy who knew what he was doing back there.
Hmm.
And I think you give that credit to the offensive line because even though they were down their starting left tackle, also shout out Broderick Jones being on the sideline, headset. He was
Yeah.
cleaning visors. That's just a dude who wants to be there, and I think
Hmm.
that means a lot to the organization.
Now,
But to
what's
lose
up with?
him
Sorry, go ahead.
and then to lose Andrews Pete as well. So to have Dylan Cook, the guy, who had never played a snap, they showed his eyes. He was like, you could see he was so nervous. Um, for Rodgers to play that well, I would like to. I wish I kind of understood film more because I'd love to see the impact that Adam Thielen and MVS had. Because if you think about that combination,
Hmm.
take away their ages and just look at their skill sets, and that's an ideal skill set match because you have DK who's just your physical, he's gonna run past you, he's gonna outmuscle you. You have MVS who is just speed, and then you have Thielen who's great underneath in the slot, and I wonder how much of those guys being there allowed DK to do what he did, which is play the best game he's played for us all year.
Yeah. The MVS and Thielen thing, Tomlin said in his post-game press conference that their professionalism this week raised the standard for everyone on the team.
That's such a Tomlin answer.
It, well, my immediate question was what my blood pressure went up, but and it's not knocking these guys. If they
Right.
came in and they're good dudes, great, and no gripe about that. But what's up with the rest of the vets on our team? What are
Yeah.
they doing, and what have they been doing all season?
Yeah.
Because two brand new guys or one, totally brand new to the team, and the other
Brand
one's been on the
new.
roster for what, a month on the
Yeah.
practice squad. I mean, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a Tomlin line, I don't doubt. I think Tomlin values guys who've had to work for what they have. Right.
Yeah.
Rather than just being God-given talent, whatever you want to call it, they all work for it one way or the other. But guys like Adam Thielen who had to work his way from the story on Thielen is really cool. I don't know how much of it you know. So he
Mm-mm.
went to, I want to say D2. I probably have the school wrong. I want to say, I don't know, small school. D2 football matters. That's not, so does D3 and NAIA. It all matters.
Oh,
Football's
yeah.
great. he was like doing dental sales, like dental equipment sales, because he was like, yeah, I guess football's over, whatever. And I guess someone encouraged him, like, dude, you got to try out for the fight. Go to the training camp or whatever. Just send him your tape. And like he got invited to camp and then made the roster and then became a Pro
Wow.
Bowl player. Like it's an awesome story. Awesome,
Kind
awesome
of like a
story.
Willie Parker's type story in a way.
Really. And
Yeah.
I think Tomlin has so much respect for those guys who have had to work. And Adam Thielen had a great quote earlier in the week. He said something along the lines of, it's like rookie mini camp again. I just have to prove myself. I have to prove that I belong here. And
Hmm.
I think those kind of things mean a lot to Mike Tomlin. So I
Yeah.
think that's why he was like, okay, you're starting this week. Like we're throwing out our rookie development, which is a whole other issue.
Yeah. Roman Wilson didn't even dress for the game.
I cannot understand that at all. It makes no sense to me. You have a guy who is getting open, but you can't get him the ball, who is on the second year of a 4-year contract. Excuse me. I'm tired.
Yeah.
The second year of a 4-year contract. Tired of all the bullshit.
Yeah. There you go.
And you're not going to at least try to involve him in the offense.
Yeah. I don't.
It
It,
doesn't make sense. Like that's what, we're happy we won, but it's like it it's the same stuff. It's just we happen to this play went our way instead of that play not going our way. That's all this week is. I still
Mhm.
feel the same about the season. I feel the same about Mike Tomlin. It's like I text you after the game. I'm like, okay, we were down 6 starters. The Ravens are red hot. We're going into Baltimore. The division leads on the line. Of course we win this game. Like, of
Yeah.
course we, because that's what Mike Tomlin does. He is.
Yeah.
I have no doubt he could lead the worst Cleveland Browns team of all time combined to 8 wins.
It-
But
Possibly. I
you
mean, it
know,
just.
he'd also lead the '07 Patriots to 9 wins, or probably.
I just he needs. He's a good. He's a good motivator and rah rah guy. I'm not going to say he's a good X's and O's guys because it's the proof's in the pudding. LeBeau's gone, and the Haley experiment. Haley did some good for our offense when we had Munchak as the offensive line coach.
Oh, I
Yeah, I
miss
mean
him.
Bruce Arians did a good job, but when he brought
Yeah,
his coaches in, they're just like bumping into each other. They don't know what they're doing. I mean,
yeah,
if they would hire some of these young mastermind coaches to run his offense and defense, we would probably get somewhere.
yeah. And the thing is, again, I want to reiterate, I don't dislike Arthur Smith. I'm so over Terrell Austin. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I hope.
There's not a snowball's chance in hell he's back. His contract's up at the end of the year. He's gone. He's gone. I don't think Arthur Smith is a bad coordinator. I think, again, I've said this a couple times, what we have, I think he works well in, but what we have is not the modern NFL offense.
Mhm.
So I'm with you. I'm like, sure, we can hire Art Smith, who is a, pretty good offensive coordinator because he got the best out of Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Obviously, Derrick Henry's a Hall of Fame player, but like at the time he wasn't. So there
Mhm.
were questions about that kind of stuff, and he got the best out of him, and that's great and that's fantastic. But the furthest the Titans went was, believe they lost an AFC Championship game to the Chiefs. I
Yeah,
believe so. I
and
think
that's
they
when
beat the
Vrabel was
Ravens.
coaching them.
Yeah, because he was the OC. Yeah,
Hmm.
and that's great, but they never got back there. And so if you see, okay, well, that's what you can do with that, and that quarterback Ryan Tannehill at that stage is probably, you could argue, physical versus mental, but better than Rodgers is at this point. And you have Derrick Henry in your backfield. And that I would rather swing and miss on a guy to at least try to get something in there that's creative and that's going to like take the league 3 or 4 years to figure out. I
Yeah,
there's no coaching tree with Mike Tomlin.
because it's starting to feel like the Matt Canada, which yeah, from all accounts, the guy just he didn't have it together, but
Yeah.
it's feeling like Arthur. It's kind of the same. It's always like, well, what are you trying to do out here? What's your goal with your game plans?
Yeah. Yeah, like the jumbo package and the 12 personnel, like that stuff works, but it's not going to work every time. And when the defense realizes you can't throw over the middle, or the deep shots are done, and you can see it feels like we have a little bit more open during the first half, and then they start creeping in because they realize, okay, it's either a play action or a dump off. I mean, it was like 3rd and 17. You're like, oh, here comes the screen.
I think Gainwell caught like 7 passes.
Yeah, he's tied with DK for team leading receptions. That's no disrespect to Kenneth Gainwell. He's fantastic, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to him being back next year. But that cannot be it.
And unless we're running a West Coast offense, like when Ricky Waters was catching the ball out of the backfield for the Niners in the
Yeah, are,
90s.
are we doing the wishbone? Like you can't do this. You can't, So I want to talk defense real quick because I think defense played a good first half.
Mhm.
I want to give a shout out to Patrick Queen. Not his jersey. He just thought it was. Uh, not
This
conscious.
is
We're
not
gonna talk.
why black either.
Yeah, we're really passionate about the modern Steelers. Um, Patrick Queen's injured. He's very clearly battling through an injury. He said on Twitter he's like playing on one leg essentially, and you can just tell he wants to be out there. And I think that the tape's not as good as we ever hope, but I think for what he's able to do, I think it matters. And
Yeah.
he's endearing himself by playing through, and he also hates Baltimore. Like he doesn't hate them, but it's like he's
Mhm.
like, yeah, you didn't want to pay
They,
me,
they let
yeah,
him walk, so there's
yeah,
always that chip on the shoulder.
right. So I think that lo losing him would be bad if that injury gets more serious because Peyton Wilson's great, but Peyton Wilson can't run and stop. Malik
Yeah,
Harrison's good, but Malik Harrison can't pass coverage. And
yeah.
Patrick kind of allows PQ
Yeah, I
allows
don't know if
everyone
we
to
have
kind
a real a thumper
of
with our
that's
line.
that's Malik, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that's healthy. That's yeah.
yeah, it was a Landon Roberts, but we
Yep.
let him go to Vegas for some reason. Jabril Peppers can kind of play that role, but with the injury, we're just banged up. I mean,
Mhm.
Darnell Washington left, Malik Harrison left, Andrews Pete left, Keanu Benton
What
left,
happened
Alex
to Pete?
Highsmith to who?
What happened to Andrews Pete?
Um,
I mean, I remember when he got hurt, but I didn't catch what.
yeah, I don't. He got a concussion, which I don't really recall. That's hard for an offensive lineman to get a concussion.
Man,
So but and it's possible. I don't know. Maybe they fabricate things. He could have just had like a neck strain, and they're like
Mhm.
concussion. You're done. Whatever. We're not going to worry about it. Highsmith injured again. Obviously had the game winning sack, which is great, but it, we're just getting banged up, and we have Miami, Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore. We got to go 3 of 4. I think, because we both Baltimore and Pittsburgh control their destiny.
Well, I read like an hour ago that if we finish 2-2 and one of those wins comes against Baltimore, we'll win the division.
Yes, yes, because right now we're a full game ahead of Baltimore with the division lead. Um, but we so often split the series against Baltimore. I almost want to
Yeah,
like go ahead and pencil that in as a loss.
it's going to be
So like,
tough. Yeah.
yeah, and I really think that Detroit's gonna stomp us.
Speaking of injuries, I don't know what you've. I know you said you were at like a holiday party or whatnot, but
Yeah,
Daniel Jones, the Colts, Achilles tendon
yeah.
tore, having a great year. They're bringing in Philip Rivers tomorrow.
Felipe Rios.
Philip Rivers.
Yeah,
It's been out of the league since 2020. Like,
I think
is
if
this
he signed with
satire?
the Colts, I don't think Rodgers would be the oldest player anymore.
No, no, he's 44
Yeah, because Rivers
and
is
hasn't
44.
taken a
That's
snap in
wild.
5 seasons, and they're
I
bringing
that
him in.
I almost feel bad for the Colts because what they were like 9-1.
Yeah.
Or they were 8-1. We were their one loss. And they trade 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, who is again top 5 corner and locked up long term. You weren't gonna have to worry about what we're gonna pay this guy. He was locked up. They looked like they found an answer at quarterback. They were kind of almost kind of what the Niners did, where you whiff on the early pick, but you happen to pick up a guy later on, so it works out.
Hmm.
And Anthony Richardson being the boss, Daniel Jones looked damn good.
Yeah.
and then to lose Sauce Gardner to an Achilles strain, not a tear, and then to lose Daniel Jones to an Achilles tear. I feel so bad when these guys on 1 year
Yeah,
deals
that's
get injured. I just that from a human standpoint, like that just sucks, man.
and
And you
he's
could
looking at
see,
probably not being able to play for the first month of next season.
I don't know if he'll play next season.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough injury to to
'Cause-
really to speed the recovery up on.
Especially at quarterback. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, if he was just a wide receiver, like obviously everything is incredibly complicated, but quarterback, it's like you're not even up to game speed yet mentally, and you have new pieces that you have to get. There's a lot to work with,
I
and
just
and
wonder if
I
it's which foot it is. If it's is his plant foot, that would probably complicate things.
well, he was already playing on a broken leg too.
Oh, then that might
Yeah,
have been
he
why he snapped his tendon if he was doing that.
that's yeah,
Jeez.
he was playing on a fractured leg, and like he was just trying to play through it because he recognized the importance of this year. So no, I feel for him. If Philip Rivers comes back, that's wild. Uh they need to organize a backroom deal, a la Steve Ballmer and the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard. Not sure how closely you follow the NBA.
Not at
To
all.
get Joe Flacco off of the Bengals and
That's
onto
what
the
I was.
Colts
Yeah,
because
because he played for
that
the Colts just a few seasons ago.
yeah, and they went to the playoffs. I
Yeah.
think. I
What
think.
I don't know if they made the playoffs, but I know Flacco was on the roster and he started some games.
Oh,
Maybe.
he beat the crap out of us.
Yeah, that's
Remember
what I
that?
thought. I was just thinking. I
Yeah.
don't think Anthony Richardson played that game. He was hurt
No,
when Flacco was in.
he because I think Richardson was starting and then he got hurt. Because there's that clip from Tomlin. He's like, "Hey, don't hurt him. We don't want 15 in the game or something like that, or we don't want Flacco in the game, whatever number he was."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're to get back on the Steelers talk. We're banged up. We're banged up. We're not playing well, and we've had what feels like probably a week or two of very heavy. Dang. Ugh, we'll edit this out. No, we're not. We're not doing that. F it. We'll do it live. We have. I lost my train of thought.
Well, we got Miami, and then I guess
Yeah,
Detroit after that.
yeah,
And then have we played Cleveland at all yet?
yeah. We have Cleveland once again,
Yeah,
and
that's right. We played them once already.
Shador's not looking like the answer, but he's not the problem, I guess is the best way I can put that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise there. I mean,
Yeah, he
he
was
was
like
drafted
23
where he
for,
should have been drafted. He's that first round talk was just
yeah.
baloney.
I think like a second or third round grade on him is fair, but it was kind of the attitude stuff that you're seeing. But he was like 23 for 46 yesterday with 300 yards. Like that's great, but also so many of his plays are like screenplays that go to the house because they have good weapons. They have good talent
Hmm.
on the outside. Oh, Tomlin discourse. That feels like the media has kind of been, we've seen stuff out there like, oh, the Steelers are not going to fire Mike Tomlin, but they have a decision to make this year.
Yeah,
Or,
because they've got to decide by March 1st if they're going to.
yes, because you're not going to lame duck a coach. That's just not
Yeah. Well,
going to
that's what
happen.
they're talking about is, he's got to, they'll just let him play out his contract. And I'm like, what coach in the NFL is just going to
Yeah,
play out their deal?
yeah,
That's not going to happen.
yeah. I like I said, I think that barring a 4-0 stretch with a playoff win,
Hmm.
I don't know. It feels different. It just it fe- even it still feels different. But I don't trust Art Rooney to make the right call.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the exact situation, but Cower had three losing seasons.
Yeah,
98, 99. Was it 90? 90, he had two losing seasons and then he finished 9-7 in 2000. So it was 7-9 in 98. That was the year that we started out okay and then just fell apart and lost a bunch of games at the end of the season after we had the Thanksgiving coin toss debacle in Detroit. And then 6-10 in '99, and then the 2000 season finished 9-7 and started showing some life after starting 0-3. Him and Tom Donahoe both turned in their resignations because they could not work together anymore.
oh yeah, yep,
And they talked Cower into staying, and they let Tom Donahoe leave, and then they brought in Kevin Colbert and turned
yeah,
things around. But something big needs to happen. If they keep Tomlin around, they need to say, look, we're get him some more coaches.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't need to make those decisions to who his assistant coaches are. You know,
But you're not going to do that to a guy with that kind of tenure. Like
yeah,
I think he's so well respected by Art. I really do. I think that's part of the thing. It's like Art Rooney knows Mike Tomlin so well as a person. I mean, they've been in each other's lives
mm,
very directly for 20 years. And at I'm sure I don't know if they consider each other friends, but you know, fire your friend
yeah,
type thing. I don't know. It's just the only way this is not coping. This is just dealing with realistic possibilities. The only way that I'm like give him another year is you let him hire some assistants, right? And you get a damn good defensive coordinator in there next year and let him call the plays. And I know that Terrell Austin calls the plays. I'm not saying Mike Tomlin does. It's proven that Terrell Austin calls the plays. If Mike Tomlin sees something like, hey, I see this, maybe we should do this type thing,
hmm
and go get a young quarterback.
yeah. They
Like
they got to
you,
figure out a way to do that, no matter
that's
what.
the only way that I can see. Yeah, give Tomlin another year, and part of me really hopes that Arthur Smith will get hired somewhere else because I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's great. And it's like we have to take advantage of this logo meaning something before it doesn't mean anything. And I think that a
Mhm.
lot of, you know, Shanahan and oh shoot, oh God, blanking on the name. He's one of the one of the Shulas. Guys
Uh-huh.
like that whose dads and grandfathers have been a part of this league for generations
Yeah,
recognize the importance of this logo and go find one of those guys and say, "Hey, you're calling our offense. We're getting you a rookie quarterback, and we're giving this a shot."
yeah. Something big has to change. Yeah, I don't know what they're willing to do, but you can't
I,
keep doing the same thing and expect something to get better.
yeah, the definition of insanity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But draft is in Pittsburgh, and did the Steelers make a splash play? The thing is, we have so many other holes, so it's like you can't. We need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And this is a very good wide receiver class. So, do you look at a wide receiver round one? Because chances are the top three quarterbacks, and I will say they are scouting quarterbacks heavily.
hmm
Like they are throwing scouts at big games to watch these quarterbacks. Guys that we talked about at the beginning of the year, they've just kind of fallen off some, which, hey, maybe that works out best for us. The guy
Yeah.
that's looking like he's going to go earliest is Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, who might
Yeah.
win the Heisman. But he's probably going first overall. It's just a question of do the Jets get him? Do the Browns get him? Who gets him?
It
There's
costs
also
a
been,
lot to get to that slot too.
yeah, I don't see us getting up there. So is it more likely that we take a wide receiver first and then do something with our second round pick and pick up a guy like a Cade Klubnik who's fallen, a John Mateer from Oklahoma who has fallen because of guys who are highly touted first round talent coming into this year, and then things happen that didn't go their way.
hmm
I don't know. We'll have to have a
Yeah.
draft special, but it's just
Oh yeah, we will be breaking that down. So
as we sit here, it's like, yeah, the Steelers beat the Ravens, and that feels really good. And it felt amazing. Looking up the flag flying outside of the house, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
yeah, I mean, you
You
can
know,
go into their house and win. I mean, it's yeah.
it just feels good. It feels good. But
But then
the
coming back
same
down to
mistakes
earth
we've
when the
seen.
game's over with, it's like,
Yep.
mm.
Yeah. Sarah and I are sitting there watching that, and she's such a diehard fan, and I love it. She's such a diehard fan, but she's still fairly new. Like she's only been a Steelers fan for 6 years now, right?
uh,
So she's only seen 12 of these games. I feel like I've seen like 1,000 of them, and they all go
yeah,
the same way. It feels like. So I'm watching it like on the couch. I'm like, yeah, it's coming down to the last game or last drive. I know it is. I know it is. And she's like, oh my God, whatever. So, and we win. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, we won. She's like, why aren't you excited? I'm like, well, because the same stuff that we've been complaining about, we saw again.
yeah.
We just happened to win this week.
hmm
But It's a win. We'll take it. We're 7-6. We're atop the division. Destiny is in our own hands. We have begun to unleash hell in December.
Whatever that is.
Whatever
But
the hell that is.
DK,
Yeah.
towards the end of the game, somebody got hurt on the punt coverage team,
Sporadic.
pushed him off the field, and DK
Yeah.
was the gunner, and he's only done that one time before, I think either in college or high
Yeah.
school. That's a high roller with that kind of paycheck he's
Yep.
getting. That I like that.
DK,
And he was fighting all the way down the field on that
yeah.
play too.
I'm telling you, man, that dude is a Pittsburgh Steeler.
That was
He is.
awesome.
He's so physical. I wish he could catch a little bit better. But he, again, that kind of stuff is going to endear you to your fan base.
Hmm.
And you see a guy making that kind of money at the size that he is, throwing these dudes around
Yeah,
when he doesn't need to, and he had to stay in Baltimore Sunday night. I don't know if you saw that report.
yeah, I
He
did.
had a
He's
stomach
yeah
issue. I didn't
tested.
realize Baltimore is only a 4 hour drive from Pittsburgh. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
not very far.
They feel so far apart. So, all right, you got anything else?
Nope, that'll do it.
All right, that'll wrap it up. That's another week of the Steel Deal. Thank y'all
Yeah,
for listening. As always, drop the comments on YouTube. We appreciate the comments, even if we don't agree with the take. We do appreciate it.
please
But
let's
they're
hear it.
fun. Brad will respond. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Prime. We're on Apple Podcasts. Find us, drop us a follow, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time. We're out.
Yeah, later.